the artistic director at the Timberlake Playhouse, and I just found out we share the same birthday.
July 2nd. We got cancers in the house.
There you go. The only thing is I'm like 42 years older than you.
Oh my gosh.
Because you're going to turn 30.
Yeah, I know. I turned 30 this July. It's like so crazy. I feel like a real adult now, you know? I'm doing that. I'm getting married in October. Like next thing you know, white picket fence and a dog. But it's crazy because Gary, we look like we could be cousins.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Truly.
So your background.
Yeah.
How did you get involved in theater?
Sure. We had a really lovely program at my middle school. Somebody said, I'll give you $20 to audition for the middle school play. I said, okay, cool. I don't have $20. Showed up. Stumbled into a lead in Guys and Dolls at the middle school, and then was like, oh my gosh, I love performing for a live audience. Stuck with it, did a bunch of different things, was in shows, was announcing my high school football games, was like putting my hand everywhere I could. And then I went to NYU for directing, which is a really wonderful program where that's where I did my first Broadway show when I was an associate on the SpongeBob musical, and then came out and sort of dabbled everywhere. You know what I mean? I worked for this company called RWS Global, where I was working for brands like Looney Tunes or Hershey. My like big claim to fame that my parents like is that I'm the voice of Jolly Rancher. Did a bunch of different things and then was directing regionally. I was going to little summer theaters and stuff like that using my PTO, and that led me to Timberlake, where I stumbled upon it. The reason why I got the job was I had directed the shows at Dollywood in Tennessee, and I had met Dolly. I'd done some commercials with Dolly, and they were doing 9 to 5 in 2023, and they're like, oh my gosh, this guy works with the Dolly brand. I had just stumbled into it, was how I got into that. But I'd just been doing theater and sort of dabbling everywhere, I guess is the sort of top line of how I got there. I just really love doing things for live audiences as opposed to film or TV where it's like we capture the thing and then we give you the thing. I like to do things in real time with them because there's a loop. So
you are from Long Island.
Yeah, I'm from Long Island, New York. Yeah,
and you were telling me that you had a stopover about half the distance to get here to the Midwest.
Yeah, so I make the pilgrimage to Mount Carroll, where I drive my little Subaru, and I leave my parents on Long Island. And so last week, we do a commission work every year under Andy Bro, one of the founders' names. And so Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh brought us out for a week to do a workshop where essentially we bring in the script, we're at music stands, we play the music, and we try out the show for the first time in front of an audience. So I workshop there, but what's nice is that Pittsburgh's halfway. So I was out in Pittsburgh for a week, and then I drove in and got here on Saturday. It took me about 9 hours to get out here, but it's all good, listen to music, do my thing, and get out here. But yeah, no. I am now out here after what is traditionally a 14-hour drive.
That is great to see you. So now, talk a little bit about the resident company for this year and how you come about selecting these artists.
Oh my gosh, I always use this example. Do you remember in the early 2000s the show American Idol, where they would go to a bunch of different cities? There'd be people they called them cattle calls. So I make relationships with a bunch of different universities, and because the resident company, part of our mission is to entertain and inspire while providing artists the ability to catapult themselves to the next point in their career. So I have a relationship with a bunch of schools, and I fly out to about a dozen schools, drive, train, walk, subway, to a bunch of different places, and the students audition for us literally at their schools because they can't, while they're taking classes, fly out to New York, fly out to Chicago, go wherever. So I go to them, and I sort of live in a series of hotels and Airbnbs for a 4-week process where I go there and we audition them. They sing a song that they know or love, and they do a dance for us, and then we send them a series of things for them to tape for us and then send to us. And we have about 5,000 submissions, and we pick about 14 folks from all over the country who come in and do that. And they're our core company. Each of them play about one lead and are in the ensemble and understudy for the rest of the shows of the season, so they could do a bunch of different things. This is what it is.
So you do also have guest artists who will be coming in, and you were saying you got something special for the first production,
Yeah.
Godspell.
So we're doing Godspell, which is very special to me because it's the first show I ever directed, and we're bringing back Sawyer Coffin, who was Chuck in Footloose for us in our 2024 company, to direct an alumni production. So it is a cast of 10 people who have all been in shows, have been in the resident company at Timberlake Playhouse before, as well as all designers and builders. All of them have done a show at Timberlake. So we have a list of like 30 people who have worked here coming back to sort of usher us in with things that are familiar, which is really, really fun. So we've got a bunch of folks from the 2024 company. We've got Morgan Malone. We've got Gabby Hernandez. We've got Malika Wanjiku. We have Connor Jordan, who was Prince Eric in 2019 for us. We've got Gabriel Argate and Earl Service Jr. from 2022. It's a nice, really eclectic mix to start out.
You know, visiting with some of the residents through the courses of the year, they always talk about the fact that they enjoy having like a guest artist, a veteran, come in, and they just kind of listen to what they have to say and learn from these people.
Yeah, I mean, I think the mentorship is key, right? You see someone who's doing it and it feels tangible. Oh my gosh, they can do that and they're prepared and they're setting an example. That's how I should be, and I could do it because I'm in a show with them. It feels real, and I think that like that sort of projection towards the next thing is really what we're trying to do here. It really reflects what our mission is as a nonprofit.
And a lot of times they also say that this summer is like a boot camp because you're doing one show, preparing for the
next show, yeah.
So, I mean, they're just hitting you with stuff.
Oh, it's like a revolving door. I'm like at Macy's just going and going and going the whole time. It really is, because it's every show. Like, you have about 14 days to rehearse, one show, and you start rehearsals. It's like, we'll be like in rehearsals for Cabaret, and in the morning beforehand, you're like learning Shrek, and your like brain is stretched like Laffy Taffy. So they learn from it.
Again, visiting with Tommy Ranieri, Artistic Director at the Timberlake Playhouse. Again, listening to what the resident artists have had to say through the years, and I enjoy doing the interviews just prior to your first production, but it is such a learning experience for them, but they do have an idea of what shows they're going to be in before they arrive, so they can kind of prepare.
Oh yeah, we give them a sort of large map. We give them these spreadsheets where like, you're this and this scene, this and this scene. Like Les Mis that we're doing is a behemoth show, right? On Broadway, it has a cast of 38, and we're doing it with like 25. So they are like walking off stage, putting on a coat, doing the next thing, playing this character. And so like they need to prepare and download that, because I always say, if you're not on the back of the train when you start, the train will keep running past you all summer, and you'll be running chasing it. So yeah, we try to prepare them as much as possible for them and their roles that they play. Yeah.
So how crazy is it behind the curtain?
Crazy is a word that you could use. It is very, very strictly planned chaos by the inch. Yeah. You know what I mean? I compare it to like NASCAR drivers. Like, when your pit stop is, when they're changing the tires right before they go out. Like, it is literally like scheduled to the inch and planned to the inch. I mean, people say like, "Oh, Tommy, you're gone in the off season. What are you doing?" I was like, I am literally sitting in my apartment on my computer all day, planning out every moment, planning out everything, so that we can execute it as efficiently as possible, because it's a top-down thing. If you come in prepared, they will gather the thing and do the best work that they can. So it's crazy in that it's a lot, but we do it with the most specificity as possible.
You've been on stage.
Yes, I grew up on stage. I have been able to really balance a lot of that, and I think because of that, and because I'm like younger, I have the ability to empathize with them. So, doing musicals, going to a top university, being part of that rigorous training that they're doing is huge, and has brought me towards a lot of different things. It's has brought me to working on Broadway. It's brought me to working in small towns across the country. I can sort of put myself in a bunch of different shoes, which is nice.
Yeah, you make a good point. You're not far removed from your college days to what these resident artists are.
Yeah, it's huge. I say to them all the time in auditions, I was like, don't feel like you're intimidated by me. I was like, I turn around to them and I look in the mirror in the dance room and I say, I was literally you 5 minutes ago. Yeah. And you see their shoulders relax. And you're like, oh. I was like, I get you. I am you. And because of that, I feel like you build that sort of trust and camaraderie, which is really what, the true spirit of our theater is.
Coming up, we're going to be taking a break for the weather, and then we'll go through the season. But before we take that break, you were telling me that you have been on Broadway. You have been on The Great White Way.
Yeah.
And it is amazing.
Thank you. Yes. So I was a part of the bringing back after COVID, Tina, the Tina Turner musical on Broadway. So I spent a year. I had started in safety management and then worked my way up into production management with a Broadway show at the Lunt Fontanne on 46. Adrian Warren was up for a Tony that year. We had, Daniel Watts from In the Heights. We had the full team, I mean, it was so crazy being surrounded in that room and being like, you're playing a part in that as well. And I was like, Gary, I was like 25 doing it. I was just so lucky to be there. Mm-hmm. And I think it was a really, really formative moment where it's like, I understand where we're projecting ourselves to, as opposed to, you're going to work hard and you're going to go to Broadway. And it feels like it's like Wonka's chocolate factory that nobody knows about. I'm like, oh, it's just real people doing the thing. We just happen to have, it's sort of like you drag and click and stretch it. So it's the same thing, just with more money. But it's cool.
And the last one you were telling me, it was Tina? You were in
Yeah,
there?
I was with Tina, which was great. Because what I love about it is it's so internationally beloved. We had people coming from all over the world to come to New York to come see the show. And it was really a special, special, special experience for me.
Do you ever look out into the audience when you're on the stage and say, oh, hey, you said Billy Crystal.
Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, well, that's the thing. Even more than on the stage, you're walking on the street, you look to your left, and you see, Adam Sandler eating a slice of pizza on the corner like a regular guy in sweatpants, and you turn to your right, and you see the whole cast of SNL, smoking a cigarette or having fun and doing their thing, and they're all just regular Joes. And I think that's the thing that we forget. These people aren't made out of plastic. They're just people like us. And it's so cool to be, had the opportunity to be a part of that mix and bring a little bit of that essence while also understanding our rural Midwest audience and blending those things together to make an incredible melting pot right here in, the Midwest. It's cool.
More with Tommy Ranieri after this break for the weather, brought to you by S. Kelly's Design.
Grab a jacket and an umbrella as you head out the door today. We are expecting some scattered shower activity, especially as we go through the afternoon. We'll see more clouds and also some gusty winds, temperatures in the upper 50s today. Clearing skies tonight, chilly again, lows in the mid-30s. With your Storm Track 8 weather impact forecast, I'm meteorologist Andrew Stutzky.
52 degrees right now. We do have light winds. Our update brought to you by S. Kelly's Design.
Looking for the perfect gift for graduation, weddings, bachelor, or bachelorette parties? Visit S. Kelly's Designs at 242 6th Avenue South in Clinton. They specialize in creating one-of-a-kind, custom-made gifts that wow. Want a personalized t-shirt, hat, cap, koozie, or shirt? They've got you covered. Whether it's for a special occasion or just because, S. Kelly's Designs makes your ideas come to life with quality and style. S. Kelly's Designs, 242 6th Avenue South, Clinton. Follow them on Facebook.
Real pleasure to have in studio Tommy Ranieri. He is the artistic director at the Timberlake Playhouse. Well, let's go over the upcoming season, beginning with Godspell.
Yeah, Godspell opens May 29th. Like I had mentioned before, for those of you tuning in right now, it is a full alumni production. We have over 30 alumni from the past 25 years coming back to Timberlake and telling a story with a rock score by Stephen Schwartz, who just wrote this little musical called Wicked that has had a film last year. And it's a retelling of the book according to St. Matthew out of the Bible in a way that is really fun and ragtag and thrown together almost like a clowning show, which is really cool. We're bringing back Sawyer Coffin to direct the show, who was Chuck in our production of Footloose in 2024, Marquez Stewart, who directed Winter Wonderettes and has run our kids program for the past 2 years, coming back and choreographing the show. Matt Sirico has been with us 3 years doing the music. It's going to be a really great show, and it's really fun to build a show centered around community and coming together through stories that we all know and love at Timberlake. It's going to be a great show when we run through June 7th, yeah.
And then up next, a blockbuster, Les Mis.
Les Mis is my favorite show. It's the show that made me fall in love with theater. I did it when I was 13. I did it when I was 17. And that was the last time it was out. So it's been on this massive international tour, and they just opened up a pocket of rights for about 10, 15 productions this year only before they changed the tour into a concert tour. So Timberlake had to go through a rigorous process to get the rights, and I'm excited to say that we're one of the only places doing it in the Midwest, period, this year. You know, I think the closest one is the Lex in Lexington, Kentucky, so you can't really find Les Mis anywhere else this year, which is really fun.
How does that come about? The Timberlake Playhouse in Mount Carroll, out there in the woods, can get a production like this?
I use a lot of kindness and hospitality, and I use the word please a lot, and I schedule an email every 2 weeks, and I say, hey, here in Les Mis is coming out. You know, I had a friend out in Utah doing it at the Tuacahn and was like, hey, word on the street is that, you know, a couple places are going to get it. And so I reach out to our licensing reps or the royalty person, the same way that you would like license music. I reach out to them. I was like, hey, how can we do this? So they're like, well, it's far enough away from these stops. And they have a couple requirements. They're like, you have to do the full orchestration. So we're having the largest orchestra in my entire time at Timberlake. We're having a 15-piece orchestra of all local players playing the show. And I was like, they're like, can you do that? And I was like, twist my arm. Oh my gosh. So we'll be doing that. And they were like, just make sure that we approve the artwork and go ahead. We really like you. You've been a good patron to us. We license a lot of their shows. And so it sort of came together. And I was like, if we're going to do this, we're going to pull out all the stops. So, you know, our designers are insane. We have DW, who was the assistant costume designer to the Cinderella revival on Broadway. He made all the transformation gowns. He's building these costumes in a shop in New York from scratch right now. John Berkland, who did multiple seasons with us, just did the national tour of Miracle on 34th Street, is doing the lights. Michael Bennett Lewis, who just did English on Broadway, which won the Pulitzer, is doing the scenic design for this show. We're bringing these amazing people. But the biggest thing is our Valjean and our Javert, the two leads of the show. John Michael Finley, who has played over 100 performances as Jean Valjean on Broadway in the last revival, is coming out to Timberlake to play Jean Valjean for us. Absolutely insane.
That is crazy.
I can't believe it.
And so when they come to Timberlake, and what is their reaction? Because they're coming from big cities.
John, I was talking to him, and he's like, he's in his late 30s now. He's one of the youngest people to play Valjean on Broadway. And he was like, I live in Brooklyn. I have a 5-year-old kid. He's like, this is my break at summer camp. And he and I vibe really well. I'm a big process guy. I'm a big actor first guy. And he's sort of like, this is like going to the gym. And he's like, you can't really phone in Valjean. So he's like, this is me ramping up into a role that I feel like I'm the right age to play now. I want to have fun doing it. I like you. I really like mentoring these young professionals who come in, like, let's do the thing. But, we make sure that they're good. It's not like, it's like we have this prissy person who's coming in who only wants green M&Ms, you know what I mean, in their dressing room. They're doing the thing just with us, which I think is, like, so wonderful and huge. It reflects our mission. So it's going to be really great to have him and Danny Rothman, who was just in the Sweeney Todd revival on Broadway last year. He was the understudy for Sweeney Todd and Judge Turpin. He's an immaculate professional. He's essentially like plays Tevye everywhere now, and is an absolute sweetheart. And I think that leading those people and trickling down is going to be huge, 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 huge for us. Yeah.
Musicals always go over so well, and you've got Cabaret and then Shrek the musical.
Oh my gosh, Cabaret doing the classic. Another big Broadway star, Jake Workman, who's playing Mary Sunshine in Chicago on Broadway literally tonight, is coming and playing the MC for us in Cabaret. We have a really great team, Trent Soyser, who did Frozen for us and choreographed Jekyll and Hyde is choreographing it, all led by our resident company. We have a resident company, Sally Bowles, leading the show. It's going to be so great. Shrek is fun for the whole family. It's the movie on stage. It's live prosthetics on the face. It's gonna look like you can touch the cartoon. It's like we're bringing DreamWorks and putting it on your laps, which is gonna be so fun. And after the show, for all the families, we are gonna do a photo shoot. Anybody can get a photo with Shrek, Fiona, and Donkey after the show, and that's a Christmas card waiting to happen. But we have that. Then we have Hands on a Hard Body, which a lot of people probably don't know. Yeah. It's based on a 1997 documentary about a hands on a truck competition. I don't know if you know about those. It's like the last person to take their hand off of the car wins the car. So it's a really great rockabilly score that we're doing here. We have a full truck that we bought from a theater in Pennsylvania that's sitting in our shop right now. We had some amazing volunteers drive out there, truck it back out here. And the music is by Trey Anastasio from Fish, which is really cool to have. And I think it's going to be a show where where our patrons can really see themselves on stage. It's all about run-of-the-mill folks from small town really just wanting to get their hands on that hard body, which is cool.
And the final production, and this is something you started, was it last year or a couple of years ago?
Last year was the first year of the commission, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Talk about how'd that come about and what's this all about?
So Andy Bro, who founded the theater, he was one of the pioneers in the 60s of regional theaters doing new work, world premiere shows that have never been written before. And so, Andy inspired us to do new work because the big way that kids are getting onto Broadway, propelling their careers right now, are through originating roles. So we do this production every year where it's roles where our patrons can see themselves on stage about small towns, about amazing people in small but incredible circumstances, as well as young people originating roles. So we're doing a new musical by Billy Reese this year that we just workshopped last week at Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh. And it's going to sound a little crazy, Gary. It's about people who are mermaids for a living. It's their job. It is about people who are trying to make it big in a small town in Oklahoma who work at the community pool and are I can go big at Mermaid Con and win $1 million doing that. And it's this beautiful, heartbreaking show about sisters and about mermaids. And it's just this hilarious, heartbreaking score because Billy's known for dark comedies. He wrote Singfeld, which is the Seinfeld parody musical off Broadway. He wrote the Grease parody musical last year. And he makes these really dark but hilarious shows, and we're so excited to present it. It's going to be crazy, and we're going to have live water on stage, so we're looking forward to that.
You have amazing contacts.
Oh, yeah. Well, you gotta.
Oh, my God. Do you have a Rolodex? Or
I keep it up here for now until it goes away. I tell people my job isn't actually artistic direction. I'm just really good at getting coffee. I just drink coffee with people all the time, and you make those connections. It's all long plays, and I just want to bring the best out to these people and make something bespoke and handcrafted for them. And I'm super pumped about it, so I think it's going to be a good year.
We got about 4 or 5 minutes left in the program, and thank you so much for coming in.
Please,
I really
Gary.
appreciate
Come on.
that. So, Timberlake Playhouse, it's not just the summer theater, but you offer so much. You're workshops, and you're trying to get young people involved.
Of course. Well, I think that it's so special, whether or not you want to be a Broadway actor when you grow up or you just really love theater. I think it's so important to give youth the opportunity to be in spaces where they can public speak, where they could connect with others. In a day and age where there's so many more barriers put up by screens in front of us, I think that the job of theater, especially for youth in this area, is to kick down those doors and give them the ability to make human contact and to grow in confidence and roll their shoulders back and really get a strong sense of self by putting themselves in other people's shoes on stage, whether or not you're playing, a bird on stage or a 100-year-old person or somebody who looks just like you. I think it's so great because you learn radical empathy. It's how you go out of your way to feel what other people feel. And I think that giving youth opportunity to do that is great. Next week we're putting up Schoolhouse Rock Live, which is our Magic Owl touring youth production, which is in partnership with Roosevelt University. We're bringing them out. They can see that. And then maybe that will make them want to enroll in our master classes, which some of them we're doing at Timberlake, and some of them our folks are teaching at Woodlawn Arts Academy down south from us. But also, we have Legally Blonde Jr., which is a youth production, which is being led by some fabulous professionals just like us, teaching them and giving them opportunities to be on that same stage as our resident company, and maybe be that one day, or maybe just be a more kind and empathetic person, or a better speaker, or just, having an opportunity to do something different, which I think is so special. Yeah.
And another thing that, people might be interested in theater, but they may not want to be on the stage, but there are so many other opportunities.
Yeah, there's anything from, I want to be something patron-facing in hospitality, from concession to merchandise to ticket takers. We have volunteers to youth opportunity jobs, and then also folks behind the stage. I mean, we have that crazy turntable that moves. There's somebody operating that every day. We have spotlight operators that are literally following those people in real time. We have people on pulleys. We have people doing makeup. We have people stitching. It's like everybody knows how to sew. We always need help sewing in the shop. There are so many. We're building. We have the Aristocrats, our volunteer group that I mean, we have these massive sets, and we wouldn't be able to do that without the kindness of our, our local folks who come in. It's essentially like the Bears defensive line comes in and raises walls like a barn for us. So there's so many opportunities to get involved, even if you don't want to be on stage and have the microphone in your hand. It's just a collaborative art, which is why I love it.
Finally, before we let you go, and
please.
again, thank you so much for your time.
Come on.
Make a plea why people should attend summer theater.
Oh my gosh, it's the best thing. Our biggest competitor is Netflix, right? We want the ability, yes, it is so amazing to sit in your IKEA couch at home that you know and love. It gives you the opportunity to get out and not only see a show, but have an experience. It is an affordable date night out. It is something that is fun for the whole family. It gives you an opportunity to try something new. Come out and experience a story at a high level amount of entertainment at a low level price right in your backyard. You don't need to drive to Chicago or see a national tour to have something that is made just for you. That's something different and fun. Come out here. It's not like you need to dress up in a suit to see a show. Come out in sweats. Crack open a beer or just have a good time. That's what we're looking for at Timberlake. We're making theater for you. Come. We're here all summer. Find me outside. I'm the kid who's walking really, really fast in circles around the theater before the show. Come say hi.
High energy, no doubt about that.
Thanks,
Tommy,
Gary.
thank you.